Also, there was the aspect of teamwork, which in this case was now consolidating all team members and also going to have a collaboration with the site that they were implementing the project they were doing. There was commitment, and commitment comes in the form of contribution. Some members contributed out of their own pockets and also finding donors. So that needed commitment from all members of the group.
All right, commitment. Show of hands, your group, everybody in your group donated money for your project. Hands up. You are your group, you raise money from outside sources. Outside sources. Very few. How many of you, your group, you told your classmates in your USIU that was not a scholar about your project? Can you see? Well, you're not proud of the project you're doing. Eh? Only few people. Show of hands in your group. You talked about your project when you went to the site and everything. You put it in your WhatsApp story at least. Lift your hand. My God. All right, so all the presenters have spoken. So, last question. Yes. Question 3. What could have been done better? Right? I want everyone in this place to talk about it very quickly. What could have been done better? Do you know what quickly means? Means let's go.
So what I would suggest is that mostly when we're about to do the next DLT training, those who have already completed are around. And so if the groups can be formed earlier with group leaders to follow to the site visits, that can actually be an eye-opener for them to see what other groups have done, the challenges they faced, and when they are about to implement it, they don't repeat the same mistakes.
Did you get that? Yes. Are we documenting this thing if I mean? All right.
Okay, so for my group, we call something change management. That is when you have taken a project and you want to leave the community involvement. Make sure the communities or the beneficiaries are parts of the project, so that when it's time for you to really the whole project would it be something new they have to adjust, but they have already adapted to what you want to change.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes. Next.
Okay, from my group side, and they talked of early feedback and further support.
Early feedback and further.
Early feedback and further support.
Early feedback and further what? Alright.
From my team, more commitment could have been better. So, starting with commitment up until the very end, there was a notice that the energy that we started with wasn't the very same as that ended with many different projects.
Initial velocity was lower than final velocity.
Alright, so for my group, we do know that I think the purpose of this was also to make us explore different sites, but I think not really knowing exactly where to go, it made us waste a lot of time. We had to go from place to place to be able to find somewhere we could make an impact on. So I think what would have been done better would have been having some reference places, at least in the VS management or the scholars program, like database, that could have served as a guideline for us to focus on. Because most of the places we end up finding, they had a lot of problems and we couldn't necessarily solve them all at once. Yeah.
So you had a lot of problems, but you can't solve all the problems at once, yes? Yes? All right.
Hello, we should all appreciate that some projects didn't inculcate creativity. But to some point, we had to...
He said some projects did not inculcate creativity.
Do
you agree? Do you agree? So I was where we went to, they just said we needed roof. We went to buy roof. We needed books. We went to buy books. Is that creative?
But for example, if I give an example, the group that did books. Sorry. I can give an example. For example, the group that did provided the books, they would have proceeded to provide shelves that would be appropriate for the students. which probably we can reach in alphabetical order, so that they will have an ease of locating a specific type.
Does that make sense? Did you hear him? Now, for the next group, this is what I want you to do. I want you to speak to, if you were to speak to the next cohort of people who will do this community change project, based on all the lessons that you spoke in your group, right? What would you say to them? Does that make sense? Let's go.
I would say co-creation of the solutions. Most of the times we think that we know what the community needs, and sometimes when we go exactly on the ground, maybe they don't need to learn how to make soap. Maybe, yes, it is essential, but it is not what they need exactly. So sitting down with the community or the place where we are going to make this change and come up with solutions, it's one of the best way. That's why we discussed with the group. Another thing is paradigm shift. I think we did not talk about paradigm shift. Most of the times we have our initial assumptions when we go to the community, which might be wrong or even affect the way we interact with the community or the places where we are going to help. So go with an open mind, go with the mind to learn, go with the mind to discover, and allow yourself to integrate with the community. In that way you can create solutions that are durable, creative, and innovative, and impactful together.
Clap for us, please. Clap for us. All right, next.
What I would say is you should take the project seriously, and a little passion goes a long way. So I can give an example of, I don't know which group it was, but the group that was working with Agape. And you could see with the way the CEO was talking about how when the guys came and proposed everything, you could see that they really transformed lives of kids with autism and Down syndrome and all that. And they also help the parents of those kids be emotionally more comfortable. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Next.
Okay, for me, I think this will go to both the ones who will be implementing the project and also the instructors. I think they should pay attention to small detail, because I think much of the people who are creative, they pay attention to the small details, those things that people feel like they don't matter. They're the ones that people should pay attention to. And that way, you learn to be open-minded as much as possible, such that when you go to implement a project somewhere, you won't only pay attention to, like, those things, like you say, if they want a roof, you give them a roof. You might want to be more creative. If they want a roof, and you will give them a roof, and you will cover their hands, and then that place they are at, there are trees all over. Then the trees will drop the branches and break it behind you grow it there. So of course that would be sustainable. So I would want them maybe to pay attention to small details, their creativity.
Forget about the big things, so make you focus on the small things, so that's projects, right? There's the little details. All right, thank you very much, sir. Next.
Okay, my advice goes to the facilitators, not even the students.
Oh, this is where you know you will clap. But tell us your advice.
And I have two suggestions. One, increase the funds. Yes.
If you want us to increase the money, say yay.
No.
If you don't want to say
Yeah.
then have it. Go ahead, increase the funds,
so
okay?
If I talk about increase the funds, initially you promised us 50,000, you gave us 47. I don't know why the 3,000 went. I don't know. Yes.
All right.
That was a bit in terms of some difference that came up. Again, the 50,000 were not enough. Though we were expected to do some fundraising, you would make it a bit higher. If you could give us 100K, then we start from there, it would be a bit increased. So that's something you could consider. Lastly, I would request you have an on-ground facilitator. who will be keep on seeing what we are doing on the ground.
Someone on the ground, right?
Yes, yes.
Do you think each group having a mentor would be useful? For example, if I tell you to mentor the next community change project, will you be happy to do that? Yes. Or I should give you stipend to do that? Yes. What if you use that as internship? Last person?
Okay, mine, I'll just reiterate on the issue of, we understand beggars are not choosers, but as we go out there to implement any project, they have their own needs and their desires, and so upon which if you don't meet whatever they are kind of telling you, or what you people talked about because of lack of resources, some of them might not be grateful, and so you might take it upon, it might downplay your roles, but that should not hurt you because in the end, you've done your part to the community.
Any group, did you feel like that? Did you feel like after implementing a project, they were not grateful, quote unquote? Who wants to share more about that? Why did you think so? Do you want to speak to that? No, I also want to speak to that. Why would you say, we're learning, right? This is a safe space. But if you go to a community and you do something, and you feel like there's a sense of ungratefulness, quote unquote, what could be the reason? Oh, you want to share? You have to come, please. Clap for our allergy. All right. What would happen for you to say that a project was in your groups? Let me ask, in your groups that had Kenyan citizens, were they helpful in your project?
Yes. Very helpful.
Very helpful. No, they have been from Kenya. That's why they're saying no. All right, let's go. Why do you think that a project might be this thing?
As far as the project being implemented by our group, and speaking from the experience I have realized, I could have said that the available fund is less than the need and the challenge that the community has at the moment. Through that, I still support what my brother Iranzi has said. The fund is less, and we encourage VS management and Mastercard to increase. For example, let me give a real life situation.
Wait. This man is talking like a politician. I ask you A, you're saying B. The question is, when you go to a community and you finish a change project, there was a concern, someone raised a concern that it often feels like the community are ungrateful. It's like, what have you really done? Yes? Did you, and I asked, did anybody experience that like that? And suppose said, yes. So I'm asking, why would you think that, what could go wrong that will make a community feel that way?
The answer is still clear. What I mean is, the fund you have cannot cover the need of this society.
What are you clapping for? You now. You are clapping. Why did you clap?
Okay, thank you very much. I would say this. Like my group, we went to implement our project. They really told us that the major question that we have, we know you will not solve that question. And it was like, which one? They told us that they have the problem of buying land. And they told us that the budget was 18 million Kenyan shilling. And you know, they are like, okay, I'm sorry. They are like, we know USIU student, especially, no. They say that we know USIU student, especially scholar, have been coming here to do something for long, but they have never done that one, the major one, because because the problem is that heavy. Imagine, okay, first let me say this. Imagine you really want to help someone, but in the mind, she or he already have that mindset that you are not going to solve the problem that they have because of finance.
All right, clap for everyone, clap for everyone. So what's she saying that if somebody comes to meet you and say, my problem is I don't have clothes to wear, you not give the person dawa to drink. You've not solved the person's problem, that's what you're trying to say. And the person will often feel ungrateful. So also we're going to address problem identification. So last words, not last words in life, like last words here.
I'm starting.
Last words, very straight to the point, and it's not compulsory. Do you have? No. Okay. Do you have?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah, go.
Okay, still to the facilitators, please. Yes. Yes.
Did we offend you?
No.
Go ahead.
What I'm suggesting is we extend from Nairobi to other regions. We have done so many projects in Nairobi, and when we visited different places, they are telling us that, oh, you are from your size students. Oh, some students were here last year. You see, it's becoming a trend. So if we can extend to other regions, it would make
so what happen
better.
now if they see you coming again? They do. My friend be going projects in USIE. Do you know? You don't know. Because we didn't tell you you must. When we were doing this project, we did not tell you must go to Kibera. You must go to. We didn't say you must.
That's Nairobi.
Right? But you know, you could do a change project in USIE. Or this school, you think there's no problem in this school. You see? You need problem
There
I.
are people to address that.
Very quickly.
So, still on the question you asked.
Very quickly,
about satisfying the community. I still stand with the man's point. Let me give a brief example. Where we went, they had a small TV. It was a school for intellectual. They had a very small TV, like 17 to 24 inch. And one of the teachers suggested that we should give them a 65-inch TV so that the students will be entertained and all that. And then we told them, actually we even wrote that in our project, and it was declined. So when we went online to check the money for buying the TVs were around 60,000 Kenya shillings and above. So still on the fact of funds, we still need more, like raising funds in Kenya with this Kasongo
What people are
economy.
saying that so that means if we give people some money, you go and buy land for these people.
I mean, if we can even team up like 5 teams and buy land and solve a major problem, rather than,
Next.
Communication is important.
Give us enough time to come up with the project. The time was too small for us to explore places. Even the Kenyans in our groups sometimes would say, I don't even know where we can go. So,
How much time did we give?
Was it like 1 month?
We gave 1 month.
Yeah.
3 months. No, to come up with the idea was 1 month. So you needed more time to come up with the idea.
yeah, we needed more time because we need to explore. Some of us are new to Kenya.
All right.
Well, my ultimate words is that emotional intelligence is so paramount. To an extent, if you are operating with individuals, especially the adults, sometimes it's so hard to control them. So as leaders, if we continue to go doing what you call a community give back projects, you should know that you'll be cooperating with individuals who are hard to control. So employ everywhere emotional intelligence as much as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I know some team members, they're just misbehaving, right? And some leaders, you wanted to just sand somebody, right? So emotional intelligence is important. Manage your emotions and emotions of others as well. Very quickly.
I would say for anyone else like planning to undertake a community development project, you have to focus on the root causes and not the symptoms. And like a brief explanation is, symptom is what you see and you perceive as being a problem, but root cause come like as a result of, discussing with people and really understanding what they need. Thanks.
All right. Next, understand the root cause of the problem. And sometimes, many of these places may have different problems, right? It's really identifying the one you can do, but the root cause as well. Young lady.
Yes, just speaking to the leaders who are facilitating the groups, there's need to keep on encouraging them and a bit of commitment showing to them because it was a lot of work. And they did put in more than the other members did at some times. So
just the commitment to keep going.
Yeah, if you're a group leader here, can you stand? Group leaders, can you stand? If you're a group leader, stand. Everybody, please put your hands together for them. Put your hands together for them. Is this how you celebrate them? No, this clap is not strong enough. Clap for them. Let's do ring clap. One finger, one finger, one finger. 2, 3, 4, 5. Say, leaders, thank you.
Leaders, thank you.
Say, we love you. Say, mwah. Leaders, sit down. Well done, well done. Thank you, all the leaders. Very quickly.
Okay, mine I will just deliver to the upcoming leaders. The only thing I can advise is that don't take a project as it is a must or a task that has been given to you, but take it as something that you want to do it for the people who are outside, people who are vulnerable, people who are, yeah.
Amazing.
All right, one thing I would like to say is that it's good to advocate for enough funds, but then please, from the experience I have as a community worker, and all these 3 months I've been working with the United Nations on community development, you don't need a lot of money to make impact. Impact
Say that one again, say it again. Say it again.
You don't need a lot of money to make impact, because even the whole money allocated for our scholarship cannot solve the problems in even Madari. You have been given something small. Make sure you effectively communicate your outcomes, the impact you want to see, what you want to do for the community. Let them understand that you are not God to come and solve every problem. Because even if you are given $1 million, you still think of how to solve that problem. But being creative and innovative and knowing that the smaller thing that you have been given can go a long way to impact just one person who can impact the whole community is what you have to be particulate about. Thank
Round
you.
of applause for him, please. Thank you. One shawarma for you.
So what I want to say is, this is one thing I want the facilitators, if they could consider,
Yes.
is to be able to notify some of the projects that has lasted for long, like sustainable ones. So ones that have been done in the past, let's say 2 to 3 years, they bring them during maybe the graduation to say that this was a project that was done by TLT maybe 2 years ago, but then the community was able to sustain it up until now. And so maybe a citation is given to these people, and it encourages you to choose a lasting project. So I'm also wishing that groups and sites that were seen, that were people who were volunteering to help the community, be encouraged with citations from TLT. Like the people called and they feel seen. For instance, even my project, that she's really taking care of people with cerebral palsy from her own pocket. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all these amazing presenters from... Come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. Thank you, thank you. As you go back to your seats, but thank you very, very much. And put your hands together for yourselves, audience, as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did we learn anything from that session? Did we learn anything, right? So we're all learning, we're all learning. Now there's a lot of feedback to the facilitators. Let me call out the facilitators outside. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chubi. Mr. Chubi. They should come and take the high table so that they can also give us feedback, because all of us, we visited all the projects, right? And they will just give us in one sentence their feedback, then we'll go for tea. Tea will be at the business school, all right? So it's just a short walk. I'm there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Olamide. Adie. All right, let's welcome Mr. OJ all the way from his seat. All right, who else? Oh, let's welcome Mr. Demi. You don't share? All right, so very quickly, we're all just going to share what we felt, because we visited the project sites. I went to Madari. Is it Madari? Matari. Madari. Yeah, I went there. I went to Korogocho. And I went to Ngari. Most of my colleagues also went to Kibera and some of the projects. First of all, you all did well, right? This is a safe, clap for yourself, clap for yourself. All right? It is not easy to leave school go all the way into town and do those projects. What I want to just share is some of our observations and how we feel this project can be done better. And now, this project doesn't just stop now, all right? Many of you in the future, you're going to be part of fellowship or programs that will also implement projects. You can use this story as well. In your internship, in your interviews, in your career, these are things that you can also share, all right? So we just want to share very quickly my panel. Where's Tayo? Some of the things or the observations that he saw in this project. So I'll start with Chubi over there at the far left. All right, very quickly. What did you see in the project and how would you encourage our scholars to do better?
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I think Daniel has told you guys to clap a lot of times, but please put your hands together for yourselves again. A lot of the projects we saw were, number one, were of goodwill, right? It was very obvious that the scholars and you guys took